Smiling is one of humanity's most universal expressions. Across cultures, ages, and backgrounds, people smile to convey warmth, happiness, connection, and friendliness. But there's a curious side to smiling that many of us have experienced: the nervous smile. Whether you're about to enter a job interview, step onto a stage, or navigate an awkward conversation, you might notice a smile creeping onto your face, even when you don't actually feel happy. So, why do we smile when we're nervous? What's going on in our brains and bodies that prompts this unexpected reaction? Let's dive deep into the fascinating science and psychology behind the nervous smile. To understand why we smile when we're nervous, it helps to start with the basics of what a smile actually is. At its core, a smile is a complex facial expression involving the contraction of several muscles, most notably the zygomatic major muscle, which pulls up the corners of the mouth. But smiling isn't just about moving facial muscles. It's also a powerful communication tool that can signal a wide range of emotions and intentions to those around us. Most of us associate smiles with happiness, joy, or amusement, but not all smiles are created equal. Psychologists have identified different types of smiles, each serving a unique purpose. The most well-known is the Duchenne smile, named after the French neurologist Guillaume Duchenne. This genuine smile involves not just the mouth, but also the eyes, creating those familiar crow's feet that signal true delight. In contrast, non-Duchenne or social smiles might only involve the mouth and are often used to convey politeness, mask discomfort, or meet social expectations. So, where does the nervous smile fit into this picture? It usually falls into the category of social or non-Duchenne smiles. These are the smiles we produce not because we're brimming with joy, but because we're trying to manage a social situation, cover up our anxiety, or navigate an uncomfortable moment. In fact, the nervous smile is a fascinating example of how our bodies and minds work together to handle stress and uncertainty. Let's explore the nervous smile from a biological perspective. Imagine you're suddenly thrust into a stressful situation. You're on the spot, all eyes on you, and you start to feel your heart race. In this moment, your body is flooded with stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. Your fight-or-flight response is activated, preparing you to respond to the perceived threat. But unlike in the distant past, when threats might have included wild animals or dangerous environments, today's stressors are often social. Instead of running away or fighting, we find ourselves needing to navigate the complexities of human interaction. Here's where the nervous smile comes in. Smiling in the face of anxiety might seem counterintuitive, but it's actually a deeply rooted social behavior. From an evolutionary standpoint, smiling is a way to signal non-aggression, appeasement, or submission. It can diffuse tension, show that we're not a threat, and invite cooperation rather than conflict. In other words, when we're nervous, our brains may prompt us to smile as a way of saying, "I'm friendly, I mean no harm, let's keep things peaceful." This has been observed not just in humans, but also in our primate relatives. For example, chimpanzees and other primates often bare their teeth in a gesture known as the fear grin or submissive smile when they feel threatened or anxious. This expression communicates to others that they're not challenging anyone's authority and want to avoid confrontation. In humans, the nervous smile can serve a similar function, helping us navigate tricky social hierarchies and defuse potentially uncomfortable situations. But the nervous smile isn't just about appeasing others. It's also about managing our own emotions. Smiling, even when it's forced, can have real effects on our mood and physiology. This is known as the facial feedback hypothesis, a psychological theory that suggests our facial expressions can influence how we feel. When we smile, our brains receive signals from the muscles in our face, which can trigger the release of neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin, chemicals that boost our mood and help us feel calmer. So, when you smile nervously, you might actually be giving yourself a tiny dose of self-soothing, helping to regulate your stress response and make the situation feel a bit more manageable. Of course, nervous smiles can sometimes send mixed signals. Picture this. You're in a serious meeting, discussing a challenging issue, and someone on your team starts to smile nervously. Others might interpret that smile as a sign of disrespect, amusement, or lack of seriousness. This is where the complexity of human communication comes into play. We rely on a combination of facial expressions, body language, tone of voice, and context to interpret meaning. A nervous smile out of place can create confusion or misunderstanding. Yet most people instinctively recognize the nervous smile for what it is: a coping mechanism, not a reflection of true joy. In fact, research has shown that we're surprisingly adept at picking up subtle cues from others' smiles. For instance, genuine smiles tend to be symmetrical and involve both the eyes and mouth, while nervous or forced smiles might be more rigid, asymmetrical, or fleeting. Our brains are wired to pick up on these subtle differences, helping us interpret social signals and respond appropriately. So, what triggers a nervous smile in the first place? It often arises in situations where we feel exposed, uncertain, or out of control. Public speaking, job interviews, meeting someone important, or being put on the spot. All of these scenarios can spark anxiety and prompt a nervous smile. It's our body's way of bridging the gap between our inner experience and our outward behavior, trying to keep the social waters calm even as we feel the storm of nerves inside. But the nervous smile isn't always a bad thing. In many cases, it helps us get through difficult moments, connect with others, and even build rapport. Think about a time when you were nervous, but someone responded to your smile with warmth or understanding. That brief moment of connection can ease tension, foster empathy, and make challenging situations more bearable. It's also worth noting that the nervous smile is deeply influenced by cultural norms and expectations. In some cultures, smiling in stressful or awkward situations is considered polite or expected, while in others it might be seen as inappropriate or insincere. For example, in many Western cultures, smiling is often encouraged as a way to appear friendly and approachable, even in difficult circumstances. In contrast, some East Asian cultures might place greater value on maintaining a neutral or reserved expression in formal settings. These cultural differences shape how we use and interpret nervous smiles, adding another layer of complexity to this intriguing behavior. In today's fast-paced, high-pressure world, the nervous smile is more common than ever. Social media, video calls, and digital communication have created new arenas for social anxiety and performance pressure. Many people find themselves smiling nervously during virtual meetings, online interviews, or while recording videos for platforms like YouTube. The camera may be just a lens, but it can feel like a spotlight, triggering the same nerves and the same instinctive smiles. So, what can we learn from the nervous smile? First, it's a reminder that our emotions and behaviors are deeply interconnected. Our bodies have evolved clever ways to help us navigate social challenges, sometimes in ways that surprise us. Smiling when we're nervous isn't a flaw or a failure. It's a natural response shaped by millions of years of evolution and social learning. Second, the nervous smile highlights the importance of empathy and understanding in our interactions. When we see someone smiling in a stressful situation, it's worth pausing to consider what they might be feeling beneath the surface. Rather than dismissing or misinterpreting their smile, we can use it as a cue to offer support, reassurance, or simply a bit of patience. Finally, if you find yourself smiling nervously, know that you're not alone. It's a universal human experience, shared by people all over the world. Embracing your nervous smile as a part of your emotional toolkit can help you navigate challenges with greater confidence and self-compassion. In conclusion, we smile when we're nervous for a variety of reasons: biological, psychological, and social. It's a way to signal non-threat, manage our own stress, and navigate the complexities of human interaction. The next time you catch yourself smiling nervously, remember, you're tapping into a powerful age-old strategy for making your way through the world. And chances are the people around you have done exactly the same thing countless times before.